Okay, we are live. Hello, everybody. Claude Diamond here. Getting close to the holidays, isn't it? Um, my good friend Justin Chamness is going to come on here in a minute. I wanted to discuss sales. One of my students sent me a video from another sales trainer, and he's talking more about the traditional, logical, conventional sales, giving those presentations, asking for the order a couple times. I just did, and to me, doesn't make much sense. I sell emotionally. I'm the author of the Gut Sales Method. In fact, Justin is one of my sales trainers. He's a licensee. He's going to come on in a second. But to me, going to people and getting in front of a prospect and saying, "Hi, let me tell you all about my products and services and things like that." I think it's boring. I think they've heard it before. Whether you know it or not, the prospect has a system, and their system is basically to get as much free information from you as possible. And here comes Justin. Look at he's got his little Christmas. He's got his Christmas plaid jacket on there. How nice. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing great. How are you, sir?
I am great. It's the biggest problem in my life. I have nothing to complain about. I,
I heard,
Life is so good, man. So good. Hey, thanks for joining me. Ladies and gentlemen, I did this real spontaneously. I just felt like I was free. I took care of all my morning consultations. I just knocked out 13 videos. Claudia and I made chili for dinner. Love chili with a little cornbread and everything. It's a cold, snowy 6-degree day here. And I thought, let me do something came up today, Justin, and I want your take on it.
okay.
Okay. One of my clients sent me a video from this Wolfie sort of guy. I don't want to mention names. I don't want to get.
I
And,
think I
and
know.
and this Wolfie sort of guy said that sales should be mostly logical, leading to more emotional, romantic type of selling. And guess how I felt about that? By the way, this is Justin Chamness. Justin is one of the great good guys of the business. He's a real estate trainer. He's a gut sales trainer, and he's a good human being. So this is one of the
Thank you.
people I like in this business. Justin, what do you think about logical selling versus emotional selling?
I've heard this debate a lot, and there's a lot of guys that say that you sell logically, and then and they buy logically, and that's what a lot of sales scripts are based on. We used to say feature, function, and then benefit. However, nowadays it is becoming more popular due to guys like you, and and I have to say thank you for that, Claude, and thank you for the nice words too about me. But this whole concept of flipping the paradigm around and leading with the emotional quality that they want, the reason why they want to buy. I think that the idea is that if you can show a man what he wants, he'll move heaven and earth to get that. And
Um,
you can't always do that logically, can you?
uh, it's hard. I learned this from my mentor that people buy things quickly. I saw my mentor. I'm a guy who was knocking on doors and and just working my tail off, giving presentations, asking for the order 5 times or more, giving free information, following up. And I was broke all the time. And I said, I'm working my butt off and I'm doing everything the guru said. I'm walking on the hot coals, never did that. I'm, knocking on 100 doors. And if 100 people say no, knocking on another. And I was broke all the time. People gave me the usual, I'll think about it. Let me talk to my spouse. Call me after the holidays. Man, that's so depressing. We got a note here. What do you think about Episcopalian guy? I said it right. I have a lot of good Episcopalian friends. People buy you before any product or service. Do they buy you? I think he has a good point there. I think likability and trust is a real big thing. I had a guy last week. I gave him almost $1 million in financial investment funds because I like the guy and I trust him implicitly. Okay, that's a big commitment. I took it away from another guy I didn't like that much. How important? How do you think he's right?
Yeah, I had a guy tell me one time, a very wealthy sales trainer. It wasn't Claude in this experience, but he told me, he said, there's only three things that really need to happen here, and the first one is that prospect needs to like you and trust you.
Yeah,
He said if you don't have that, you can throw the rest of your pitch away because it's
yeah.
not going to it's not going to amount to a hill of beans.
Everything you need to know is watch Cheers. What did they say when Norm walked into the bar?
Norm.
You know, I, likability and trust is so important. How about interest? How about humor? Do we like? Do you ever go to a party? And I remember there was always a guy in high school or college, and he could just walk into a room and talk to any girl, and I was this shy guy, and he could just make people laugh, and they always congregated. There was always one or two guys like that. I got into the business world. There was always one or two people who always sold 10 times more than everybody else. What is that secret sauce, Justin?
I used to think it was the hustle because I've seen those guys and they were up at 5:30 in the morning having breakfast with a prospect at 6 a.m. Having another session with somebody else at 7, hitting the golf tee with another couple guys at 8, playing golf until noon, and then having lunch with them, and then hitting another session with somebody else. I thought it was only the hustle. I really did. But I tried to mimic that. And I found out that it wasn't just the hustle.
What was it? What else? What else was it? Humor, value, showing concern, interest, empathy. What was it?
It was relationships. It was an emotional factor that came into play with the salesman and the winning salesman, the top salesman in our agency, and his prospects. It was also the fact that he knew how to communicate to them when he was talking to them. He was a certain person in their eyes, and that was a person they could respect, they could trust, and in fact they did trust with a lot of money. I could not learn that in a weekend seminar.
I don't think you can learn these skills in one weekend seminar. Most of the seminars, you brought up an interesting point here. Most seminars, I've gone to a lot of seminars. I love information. I'm a junkie for the stuff. Okay. But 90% or more of most seminars that I go to are motivation. I want tools. What do I say? What are the words I use so I can be in the highest income bracket? And what is that stuff? You tell me how this Joe and Mary made all this money, and how this couple sold all the water filters out of their garage, and this person made $1 million in real estate. That's the motivation. I want the tools. I want to know what are the right words to say so I can be confident, comfortable, and put mac and cheese on my family's table.
I'll give you one gold nugget that I use, Claude, and this is not something I invented myself. This is another sales trainer from way back that I heard say this in a speech he was giving about sales. And I don't remember anything else he said, but he said this, and so I've adapted it into my life. And one of the first things I tell prospects when I get on the phone with them is, "You're gonna love me. You're gonna love me." And it might be hypnotic what I'm doing. I'm not certain if it's hypnotic yet, but I do know that when they come at me like, "You're not one of those real estate investors that's gonna lowball me." No, you're gonna love me. I want to be different, and I want them to start thinking about loving me, because I've got a solution that can really be a help for them if I can just get them to like me and trust me long enough to play it out with me.
And this kind of goes back to my premise, because I've done the logical premature presentation up front. Let me tell you everything you didn't want to know about hot dog. I used to sell for Swift Premium, by the way. Really, you try to get presentations to people, New Yorkers. Okay, I worked in New York City, was my territory. Talking to New Yorkers and making hot dogs and Braunschweiger and salami and bacon and all these products, making them presentations, and these guys didn't want to hear it. They just wanted, you had to make them emotional about it. And I wasn't that good a salesman then, and I got a lot of rejection all the time. They'd have appointments with me and keep me waiting. And so I believe in emotional selling because I saw my mentor. I actually saw it. This was one of those life-changing moments where he made more money in one phone call in real estate than I made in a whole year at my corporate job selling hot dogs in the South Bronx of New York City. Okay. And I said, oh my God, how did he do that? And, you know, you hear a lot of gurus and a lot of stories, and you hear stuff, and I question everything. Okay. But when you see somebody actually do it right in front of you, in one conversation, you say, oh my God, that's it. This is what I was looking for all my life. How do I get somebody emotionally involved? And when you say emotion, back to what you were saying, right? Likability, trustworthiness, getting them to say, you know, I just got off the phone with a good dude or dudette. I got off I like that person. I want to do business with them. I want to go to their restaurant. I want to go to their dry cleaning. I want to buy their house, sell their house, something like that. To me, if I can get that emotional going where I get their attention and likability, then I can go into the logical. Does that make sense?
It does. It absolutely makes sense. I was thinking you were talking about watching somebody make a phone call, make more money in that one call than you did in your whole year's salary or wages.
Imagine that.
I was thinking, you know, that is like the poverty or the mundane life vaccination right there. You got the shot right there. You saw it. You witnessed it. You'll never be the same. And so when I can hang out with Claude Diamond, I want to hang out with Claude Diamond because every time I do, I get a booster.
You get a little vitamin C, as we like to say, right?
Hey, a little vitamin C.
Hey, we got a superstar here. We got Larry Gill, not Larry, but his lovely wife Mariska. That's Larry's just married to her. No, these are two of the most wonderful people who just, I believe they just moved from Seattle back closer to me now. And if you guys want to come on for a second, the link is right in there. Love to see them. These are the folks who have set up seminars for me in Washington and in Hawaii and stuff. And they are super duper gut salespeople. They are amazing people. We've got another comment here. This is really funny. My goldfish just died from Alexander Ryan Deli. This is one of my favorite humor. But when people go to me, go ahead, ask me how I am today. Claude, how are you today? Your opener, right?
Oh, go ahead. You talking to me? I thought you were talking to the guy who put the comment up there.
Yeah. You talking to me? What are you in New York right now?
I was still thinking about his goldfish, and I was just picturing in my mind how he's planning this ceremony. I don't know.
When I get a salesman calls me up, well, how are you today, sir? And, they don't even let you answer sometimes. And then they go right in the and horrible day. My Goldie died. My goldfish died. I've got 10 chihuahuas and they all peed under the Christmas tree today. Oh, it's just oh my gosh, and it's just been one of those days, you're not here to sell me anything, are you? I have a lot of fun in sales. Can you imagine having fun in sales?
It's great. It's actually I think I heard Zig Ziglar say it's the most lucrative paying job on the planet. That's what I heard him say.
Have you ever heard people say that sales is the highest paid profession? Have you ever heard that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've heard that, and I've witnessed that. What it's done for me is I used to be the salary guy or the wage guy, and then maybe if I was lucky, I got some kind of Christmas bonus or $50 or something. But then I got into sales, and I was introduced to the lifestyle of commissions, getting paid for what I can contribute in value here by closing sales. And after I tasted that, man, I have never been the same because I can set my own salary. It's really cool.
About that? Hey, well, here we got two people who know a little bit about sales. Lovely, Mariska, and who's that guy there? Oh, is that Larry? How you doing?
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. How are you kids?
You're doing great, but we're wondering why we're here.
We're not getting good audio here from you guys.
All
I couldn't hear you very well. I'm sorry. Did you hear them? Did you hear them, Justin?
I believe she said she couldn't figure out why they're here today.
Oh, I don't know. It's a media world. This is just good media. And when's our next trip to Hawaii, by the way?
Whenever you want.
Were you guys just there?
No, we haven't been there since January. Last time we were there with you. So.
Oh my gosh, we had fun, didn't we?
We sure did.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Hawaii
Oh,
is closed down, but you can get to the other islands, but our favorite is closed down pretty much.
Kauai is closed? Really? I didn't know that.
I mean, it's just there's a lot of hoops to jump through in order to get there, and we just decided to just cancel this year. So
Where am I going to get my Bubba Burger from? That's our favorite burger joint.
maybe we
over
should
in Hawaii.
take on the computer. This is
So we've got a really bad connection here. We're going to sign off. I don't know if you can hear me well, but
Okay.
New Year and
Did you get the Christmas mask that I sent you?
Yeah, we haven't got that yet. No.
Oh, okay. Everybody gets. I finally found a use for the Crown Royal bag. Okay, absolutely. Hey, good seeing you guys again. Don't be such strangers. How do you? Oh, and you're living. Can I say where you moved to? Is that all right?
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys. They had a bad connection there. But where do we lead off? Where did we left off there?
I got a whole stack of those Crown Royal bags, and now I know exactly what to do with them.
Oh yeah, you can make booties out of them, put them on your feet. They're real nice and warm, or something like that. I mean, never really understood the bag. It was just a little bit of marketing.
My foot's too big.
It's good stuff. Emotional selling, though, versus logical selling. Getting in front of a prospect and just throwing all the logic, the facts, the figures, and everything at them. I think that when I get the traditional salesperson, I go to sleep. I just or I go into prospect mode. I go into the prospect system. Oh, this guy's so hungry. Let me just pick his brain. Let me get this free consultation. Let me ask him for everything. And without making any commitment or revealing anything about my needs and greeds. And then I'll tell him I'll think about it. Right? I mean, isn't that what they do? I don't want to sell like that. I want to have more control. What about control? Are we control when we sell emotionally? Do you think we have the control in the process and we make it much more enjoyable?
Yeah, you're going to love me. Yeah, you're going to love me. You definitely do. That's the whole point of Guts.
That's a pattern interrupt, isn't it?
I think it is. Is that what you would call it, Claude?
Let me explain to folks what a pattern interrupt is. Most people, we were joking about the goldfish line when some sales guy calls you up and says, "How are you today?" And then I just go real negative and real, "Oh, it's a horrible day." I think a pattern interrupt is a way of getting a prospect off balance and out of their default mode. When most prospect, when we get someone calls us at dinner time and the ring, "Hi, how are you today, Mr. Chamness?" Boom. "Hey, man, I got hot meatloaf there. Leave me alone. Not interested.
Right.
Take me off your list." Man, you just, by opening your mouth with that traditional opener, you just wasted a prospect. Prospects are expensive. Good prospects.
Yes.
So I treat my prospects like they're gold. Okay. And so when I get on the phone with somebody, I want to act familiar. So if I call you up and I say, "Hey, Justin, didn't we go to high school together? Or how you been, man?" And you're going to go, "Oh, who is this guy? Oh, I better be on my best behavior. Is this someone I know?" And in sales, sometimes when I reach out to people, I might say something like, "Justin, why? I've got your number in front of me here. I'm so embarrassed. What's this about? Can you help me? Why am I calling you? Why didn't your house sell? Justin, that beautiful home, how come it didn't sell?"
That's a good question.
Yeah. We got my buddy Adam Messias is here. He says, I'll think about it. Get back to you later. Oh, Adam, you know how to handle that. Go ahead. Gee, Justin, I want to think about this. You're a great guy, and it's Christmas, and we're real busy. I want to think about this. I'm going to go to church and pray on this, light a couple candles. I'll talk to my wife, and I'll get back to you in the near distant future, buddy.
Yeah, I understand, but you're not allowed to think about it.
What? How dare you? What do you mean?
Well, I mean, I'm afraid if you think about it, you're going to miss out on this opportunity. See, I've got 3 other prospects that are actually, they messaged me this morning. I'm ready to talk to them today. You were the first on the list. If you pass it up, I can't guarantee that this deal will be available past 5 o'clock today. So
I got to do my due diligence, though. I've got to talk to Snow White, the 7 dwarfs, my team of attorneys, my mother-in-law. I'm feeling so much pressure.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, that's just kind of the way it is. Who did you have to talk to, and what kind of due diligence really do you need to do?
Okay, off the role play. This is where I would basically say to them, you know what, sir? I don't want you to be uncomfortable. I'd start stroking and nurturing a little.
Okay.
And I'd go back. I'd say, you know what, sir? I told you you're not allowed to think about it because I get the feeling that you want to just say no to me. Why don't you just do that?
Okay.
Mr. Chamness, why don't you just say no to me?
Well, I mean, I don't want to say no to you. I'm just real distracted right now, and I've got lots on my plate, and I need to talk to.
You came to me with a problem. I think I have a reasonable solution for it. It's not the money or anything we discussed about the terms, is it?
Well,
we could fix it.
It might be. I am busy, but it might be the money too.
Let's fix the money. Let's talk about it for a moment. And the thing about it is, imagine for a moment we can make this problem go away. We could solve this. So wouldn't that be the best Christmas ever? And here's what I'm scared of, sir. You're going to get off the phone. I'm going to get off the phone, and the problem's still going to exist. It's going to get worse. It's going to cost you more money, more time. You told me your wife can't sleep at night. Why don't we fix it right now or fire me? It's okay. And if you can't say no, I'll say no. I'm not here to stress you out or anything or put you under pressure, but the problem will still exist. Why don't we fix it?
Yeah, I want to fix it, but we got to get this money problem ironed out for sure.
Let's talk about the money. Suppose it is a lot of money. Suppose we could suppose there was a way, and I don't usually do this. Suppose we could finance this money situation. Maybe break it up into smaller payments. That wouldn't something comfortable for your budget. And I'll tell you what I'll do. If we can make a decision right now and put it in writing, I will waive all interest on this. I want to earn your trust and do business with you today. I want to make this a great Christmas. Suppose I made that offer to you. How would you feel about that?
Yeah, I would do that.
What? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
what?
I would do that. I would do that. Can I talk to my wife first, though?
Let me talk to mine. Honey, is it okay if I sell Justin and make this the best Christmas ever and make this work within his budget so he doesn't have to worry about that house anymore? My wife just said it's okay. You check with your lovely lady. I do shit like this. I have so much fun in sales on the way to the bank. You cannot believe how much fun. I'm at a point where if I can get them to laugh, if I can solve their problem, even you know what's really funny when I do this? You're not allowed to think about it, and they hang up the phone. I laugh. I think it's so funny that my words could make them maybe emotional in a negative way.
Yeah.
How important? We talk about this all the time. How important is it for us to feel good about ourselves?
Have you ever had a prospect, Claude? You're going with the emotional sales strategy. You invoke these emotions in the conversation, and you get to the end, or maybe you don't even get to the end. He gets mad at you and he hangs up the phone. Have you ever had that guy call back in a couple hours, a few days, maybe a week or two, and act like nothing ever happened, and he wants to know if your offer's still good?
Oh yeah, all the time. Let's see. Because I keep good notes, by the way. How important is it? Because you can't remember all these people. So if somebody calls me up and I see the phone number on my caller ID because I use Google Voice, which identifies people before I take the call. And then I'll go right into my little database here and say, oh, this is the guy 3 weeks ago who hung up on me.
Yeah.
And I'll say, go ahead, let's role play. Is this Mr. Chamness?
Yeah, this is.
Yeah, hi. I'm so glad. I was just thinking about you the other day. How are you?
I'm doing okay.
Are you still mad at me?
Oh, well, I'm sorry about that. I was actually calling.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, say it again.
I said, I got the feeling you hung up on me and I didn't know what I said or did. I should have called you back or something. And I really felt bad. What did I do to make you so upset?
Well, I must have just been having a bad day. I'm sorry about that. I was actually calling to see if your offer's still good. Is this something we can talk about? Because it didn't work out the other plan I had. I wasn't sure if that was going to work out, and it didn't. So now I'm wishing I would just said yes to you.
Well, I don't know. Usually when someone's that mad at me and they hang up on me and everything, I don't know. Let me think about this for a moment. Okay, off the role play. What would the amateur guy do?
Oh, yeah. I would love to help you. Yeah, it's great. I've been hoping you'd call. I was thinking about calling you. I've been missing you.
Don't worry. Pee on my back and tell me it's raining. I love that expression. But what did I do just now?
I love that you have the memo with "I don't know" written on it. The fact that you have that even is beautiful.
This is my favorite. I should put it on my forehead. I have another one that says "Shut."
I want to get one myself.
When you say "I don't know" to the now I know deep inside there's an inner and an outer salesperson. The inner one is going, yippee! Maybe we're going to the bank today, Mama. But the outer one has to play a role in a play, in a Steven Spielberg movie. Because if I act, oh, yes, thank you for calling me. Do whatever you want. Abuse me. And then you're going to go, I'll think about it again because you got control again back on me. And then you're going to, I've got to get that commitment and make it emotional in a second.
Yeah.
So the minute I use scarcity and I say, I don't know, I'm really busy. What would you? Let me ask you something. What would you like to see happen today? I'm not making a commitment because I don't know just yet. This is not something I normally do. This would be an exception, but it is Christmas.
Well,
what would you like to see happen, sir? Let me take some notes here.
Well, when we talked 2 weeks ago, we had talked about the price and everything and how it was going to work. And if it's okay, we can just go with exactly like what we talked about today. If we can do it today.
So if I sent you a contract with the price and terms we talked about 3 weeks ago when you hung up the phone on me, if I sent that to you right now, what would happen next?
Yeah.
I'm a little confused. You're going to have to help me out here.
We're ready to do. Yeah, we're ready to do that deal. So that's why I'm calling.
But, what about your wife? You said you needed to speak with your wife. You had to check your bank account. You had to look for money in your mattress. No. You had to go to your lawyer. You had to pray to your pet rock. What about all those things you brought up last time?
Nah, we're done with all that. We're good. We're ready to go. So
I don't know. I'm going to have to think about this for a moment. What am I off the role play? What am I? You see the struggle I'm doing? I should get an Academy Award. I'd like to thank my mother and father and all the little people who made this possible. What am I doing here?
You're making me chase you, and it's uncomfortable for me, man.
Listen, you got to buy me a drink before you kiss me. What happens if here's the danger, and say I love sales because it's so freaking dangerous. You can make money. It's 10,000 angels dancing on the head of a pin. Isn't it? It could go either way. Okay?
It's so exciting.
Oh, it's so exciting. There should be an Olympics for this stuff.
You get a high when you close one. Woo,
Talk about
I gotta have it.
What's that? It's the second best feeling in the world, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're very young, so I won't tell you what the first is.
I have a good idea.
You've
I
got
read a
three
book.
kids.
I
many
read a
kids you
lot of books.
I have only 2 kids. So you know a lot more than me.
I don't know. Maybe I just got lucky, or I don't know.
You're like my friend Joe McCall. Joe McCall has 18, 19 kids or something like that.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
I did not
No,
know
I
that.
just no. That is the great lie. Joe has 5 or 6 kids. So I'm always talking about Joe. What do you got? 17 kids, 18 kids over there. So I always tease him. But
Still
back
5.
to being that I'm using psychology, scarcity. I'm using a little social proof. I'm real busy. I've got all these other deals, and now you came back to me, and we, and gosh, you were so mad at me at the other time and everything. Who am I protecting right now?
Yourself, right?
Yeah, myself. Okay, I'm not here to torture you or anything. I just want to make sure that I get such a strong commitment from you, and when you get off that phone, what do I want you to think and say to your wife?
We did it, baby. We got it done.
Whoa, was that work? Boy, he must have said, I don't know, 10 times to me. I didn't think, man, I'm the luckiest guy, or I'm really good because I sold him, and I didn't think we were going to make that happen.
Right.
Sweetheart.
Exactly. Yeah.
I've got to make you feel good. Okay?
I have not handled this before correctly, Claude.
It's tough. It's a hard one.
And let me tell you what happened to me. The guy, I kind of gave a little example earlier and kind of started this off, but the guy, in my experience, I didn't handle it the way that you're describing now. And the guy did it to me again. Went off the map again. And I really felt like the fool. Like I'd been stood up. You know what I mean? On a date.
And that eats at my soul. When I've been lied to or manipulated or used for my knowledge and information, and someone wasted my time because I shut off my brain. When we get emotionally involved, do you think the head, this is the cabeza, this is working?
Well,
no way,
probably
baby.
not. Probably not. No.
So don't you think the prospect system is to get us emotionally involved? Don't they hit our greed button? Oh, it's Christmas. I need money. I better do everything this prospect wants. Let me give them everything. And what happens when they sense that we're so submissive to them and giving them everything? It's human nature. This is what they're going to do.
Yeah.
And some people get away with it all the time. It's a great system. The prospect system is genius. If you think about it, you can call lawyers, people all day long, pick their brain for information, and not make a commitment if you are not using a sales system where you have a psychological and thespian ability.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I've been worn out before with the long presentation, sales pitches. No, I mean when I was doing it, okay, coming up in sales, my first few sales gigs that I had out there, give me a script. Here's how you do it. You get down on your knee and you look at the lady and you look at the guy, and then you say, hey, look at the dirt on this napkin I just sucked up out of your carpet and your couch cushion. Put your finger in it and feel that scum. Okay, actually, that was pretty fun. And that got an emotional reaction out of those customers, which, well, they weren't customers yet, but they became customers. Once I learned that if you can get them to put their finger in the dirt, is that funny? If you can get them to play around with the dirt, they get emotionally involved with that dirty house, right? And I was selling vacuum cleaners at the time.
Did you realize which vacuum? That is the greatest salesman in the world. That I've vacuum salespeople, insurance people, a couple of real estate people, Amway, network marketing people. By God, they're part of the cult. They drink the Kool-Aid,
Yeah. I sold Hyla. It's a German vacuum cleaner, and basically it's kind of a hydroponic type deal where it's got water in it. It's basically an electric water bong for any hippies out there that know what that is.
Have you ever met, I have met great salespeople. They make unbelievable incomes. They're some of the happiest people ever. I'll never retire. As long as
Yeah.
this is working and this is working, baby, because I think sales can be so much fun and can be so rewarding emotionally. Can the salesman be allowed to enjoy what he or she is doing? Do you think it can be emotionally rewarding for the salesperson? Not just knocking on doors every day, using your mojo dialer, talking to people. All right, what do you want? You're the 10th guy to call me today. And not have the tools to know how to deal with that. I feel sorry for most salespeople because they don't understand that it is you brought up earlier. We really kind of skipped over on it. Sales is a profession, but why come we don't treat it like one? We think it's just about reading a script, knocking on thousands of doors, motivating ourselves with some kind of guru or something. It's so much more than that. It's really a skill. It's a skill set that go ahead.
When I was a kid, I grew up in Kentucky, rural Kentucky, and I used to see these trucks, driving on these country 2-lane curvy roads, and they would be loaded up full in the back with cattle gates. And I remember remarking to my dad or somebody when I was a kid, I was like, what do I always see trucks driving around with these things in the back? He said, oh, well, those are some farm guys. They load up these cattle gates and they drive around from farm to farm selling cattle gates. They make a great living doing it.
Yeah.
And I thought, man, sales, that's the answer.
Sales story. I got a similar thing. We moved here 24 years ago to Colorado. We live in Colorado and California and a couple other places. And we just got to this. We bought this beautiful house in Colorado, but the driveway, we have a big horseshoe driveway, and it was dirt. It's Colorado. And I don't know, a couple months later during the summer, I call them asphalt gypsies, okay? And guy comes down the street, and he knocks on the door, and out here everybody opens doors before pandemic and stuff. And he says, sir, I'm here with a crew of guys. We got all this extra asphalt left over, and we could do your driveway and make it beautiful and save you a lot of money.
Yeah.
And you know what? It would increase the value of your house. And I don't know, does your wife care about dirt coming into the house from that dirt road and everything? And I said, yeah, she talks about it all the time. And I said, how much would this cost me? He says, well, I'll give you a special price because we're in the neighborhood. We got this asphalt and everything. And he gave me a price. And I said, is that the best you can do? And he just dropped it another $500. And everything like that. And he said, it'll increase the value. Your wife will love it because there won't be dirt in the house. It'll make the house, your new house you just bought. Oh, it'll make it look so nice. That black driveway and everything. Your neighbors will be so envious of you. I love this guy. Guess what I said?
Yes.
Yes. Because I knew I had to say yes. I am the easiest guy in the world to sell. I am so easy to sell. If you get me emotionally and I like you, and I got the little trust thing going, there has to be some of that. And then you get me emotionally involved. You talk about my wife, the house, the property value. Then we go to the money part, and then we negotiate it. And I said, can you do any better? And he says, you know what, sir? Can you introduce me maybe to some of your other neighbors? And I'll cut off $500. And I said, sure. And I introduced him to my next door neighbor. He did his driveway too. Okay, he made me into his salesman.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Don't you love people who have this gift? I call it the gift.
I know a guy that makes over $100,000 a year, and he works the wintertime months loading firewood in his pickup truck and driving around until he sells the whole pickup truck full, comes back and does it all over again. Over and over and over. Sales. I was sitting on the couch one day as a young guy, not having been very successful at college. Okay. Didn't have the commitment level to get all the way through. All right. That's an issue. I recognize that in my life. But anyway, I ended up with two 2-year degrees, but I was sitting there wondering why I couldn't get a great job. I couldn't have a great career. I was like, you know why? I don't have any marketable skills. I don't know how to do anything, you know? And then I heard Zig Ziglar say that. I mentioned earlier that sales is the highest paid profession in the world. And I thought, that's a skill I can learn. And I don't have to go to school to do it. And I can be free from the job if I do it. I'm going to do this sales thing.
You know, I met Zig Ziglar. I had breakfast with him in Denver a million years ago when he's gone now. He was one of those great sales guys. Total chutzpah, total guts kind of sale. I think he sold Tupperware or something like that, pots and pans in Texas. You know, he used to call his wife the redhead, and a great sales guy. Total confident.
Amazing.
I meet great salespeople. They emanate confidence and humor, and they're just so comfortable in their own skin. And as you said, it's a profession. The wealthiest people I know are super communicators. The people I know, they're just great. People love them. They trust them, and they know how to communicate in a way that doesn't sound like the old school. Well, let's go to the slideshow, Harry. You know, they know how to bring out that emotional EQ, that emotional quotient in people at the very beginning. You know me, I got the little 3-minute timer. Man, in 3 minutes, I instinctually know whether I'm dealing with a 5 or 6 or an 8, 9, or 10 or a 1 or 2 or 3 on the quad barometer. Yeah. All right, show it, baby. You can use this on your honeymoon too, ladies and gentlemen. Yes.
This right here, the concept behind this right here has completely and totally revolutionized my entire life. I'm not even trying to blow smoke or blue sky anybody. Giving us permission to qualify or disqualify that other person on the phone in 3 minutes or less, priceless.
How much time do we spend? You know, we've got to guard our natural resources, our time, our knowledge, our energy. We've got to be kind to ourselves. And sales can be brutal if you don't have some of the sales skills that we've been talking about here and I promised you only 30 minutes and it's 42 already. So you've been very generous with your time.
Keep it going.
No, it's up to you. I love talking about, I love sharing to people. You and I both have good lives, you know, and I think once you get the money issue out of your life, because you have the sales skills, people sell products, services, a lot of real estate people we know, but they think the message, the script, the boilerplate is the way you go to the bank. And it's so much more than that. And you've got to treat it as a profession. You've got to learn the skill set. You've got to have a system. Yeah. You've got to learn to ask the right questions. You've got to almost learn hypnotic skills of persuasion. We call this Guts 2.0. When we try to put a picture in people's mind all the time. Great salespeople do that, don't they?
Yeah.
You know?
I think it's so tragically naive when people are convinced that I buy this script or I get this download of this free script or this script I paid thousands of dollars for.
They sell books. And I love Grant Cardone and all these other guys, but they sell script books. How does that work? Excuse me, Mr. Prospect, page 82. Here's the answer. You're not. I understand you want to talk to your wife. Blah blah blah. No, you've got to know that shit automatically. Yeah. It's got to be spontaneous. Yeah. It's got to be passionate, enthusiastic. It's got to be logical and emotional at the same. You know, you bring up a great question, sir. I'm glad you brought that up. Man, you got to know that stuff right away and how to respond to it. How do you get good? How do you get superb at sales so you can have as much freedom and money as you want in life?
So it sounds like you're saying Jordan Belfort is wrong.
I didn't. So well,
I name bombed right there. Boom.
I like Jordan. I enjoyed the movie, and one of my clients told me, "You got to watch this video." Jordan is talking more about logical presentation.
Yeah.
And then getting it more romantic, more dreamy. And I just do the complete opposite.
Yeah.
I want to go to, sir,
Yeah.
why are we talking today? You
Yeah.
gotta, why do you want to sell your home? Keep your home to another 10 years. You don't really
Yeah.
want to sell it, right? Rather than the traditional sales
Yeah.
guy who says, oh, I'm glad you called me, sir. We'll help you sell your home. And they go into that whole, we have offices everywhere. We'll put it in the MLS. And they hear the same old thing from everyone else. I want to make this a unique, rewarding, fun experience. I love meeting people.
Yeah, I do too.
So nothing against Jordan Belfort. I love the movie and everything. And there's something to learn from all these other guys. But fundamentally, my foundation is to make it as emotional as possible in the beginning by using redirection, reverse psychology. Okay, I'll go to anybody. Sure, you want to do this, man, Mr. Mr. Chamness? You don't really want to do this, do you? Like, why don't you keep your money in the bank? You don't want to buy an investment property, don't you? Do you? And deal with repairs and tenants and why this sudden interest in real estate, sir?
Well, I've got a kind of a windfall out of the market.
Put it in the bank. Put it in the bank, right? What's the bank paying out? 0.75% or something?
Yeah.
Go to Vegas or buy some Bitcoin, right?
Nah, we're going to buy a house, and me and my son are going to work on it together. He's kind of getting up into the lower 20s, and we're going to kind of try to teach him a little bit about real estate and managing his money, and so it's kind of a bit of a family project at the same time.
Sounds like fun. You don't expect a return, do you?
Oh well, goodness, yes. We're expecting to get a better return doing this than we would, in a lot of the other things that we would.
Here it comes. Here it comes.
I feel like the stock is volatile a little bit, or could be, and then the other options, they just don't yield much, if anything. So we're really looking forward to making some. I know we're not going to get rich. It's going to be a learning experience, but at the same time, we're excited about it.
And so this isn't something you want to do right now, though, right? Maybe next year, 6 months, 12 months, 2-3 years from now.
Oh yeah, we're ready to go right away.
So just so I understand, help me out here for a moment. If you found a property that was easy to manage, that gave you it was secure, your money with your investment was protected, it could help you to teach your son some lessons on finance and entrepreneurship, and you got a good return without intensive management, what would you do next if you found a property that gave you that return and accomplished all the things you're looking for? What would you do?
Yeah, well, we could close actually as soon as the title company's ready.
Boom. Off the role play. Who did all the work here?
I did, personally.
Did you just become the salesperson? What did I do? I was like negative Harry here, okay? I just kept going in an unexpected direction. Did I sound like a sales guy?
What I like about it, Claude, is when you get off the phone with one like this and you look back at it, you gave them literally everything they wanted to get. They had no reason to say no.
Right. But if you find that, go ahead.
And they told you what it was that they wanted to get. So it's easy.
We call this redirection in the gut sales method. By going in the opposite or unexpected or unfamiliar, untraditional, give me all the unwords, ways of selling. See, the amateur guy would go, oh, we can do it. It dices, it slices, it makes julienne fries. And if you order right now, we'll throw in the bamboo steamer. Now, that was an old commercial. Who was that guy? But wait, there's more. Who was that guy? He passed away.
Billy Mays.
Billy Mays. I love Billy Mays. He was funny. But if I could be a bull in a china shop and throw everything at you like every other salesperson. But if I am a little subtle, if I'm playing a role here where I get you to justify everything you need, everything you want, am I getting information, qualification? Am I getting commitment? Am I learning who's the decision maker? What's the timeliness of it? Am I getting that strong commitment right now without sounding like the goofy used car guy?
Right. Right.
How much fun is that to sell like that and actually get a commitment in a couple minutes and know how to sell this guy? See, you're telling me exactly how to sell you instead of me doing that mind reading game.
Exactly. And instead of you forcing your product or your features or your benefits down my throat, whether I wanted, needed them, or like them at all, which is what normal sales presentations are like.
Yeah. It's so much fun to sell this way. And if somebody says, well, I don't have the money or anything like that, well, I guess it's over, Mr. Chamness. But the problem will still remain. Let me ask you before I go. I get to fire him. I get to dismiss him. Before I go, if there was a way we could work something out on the price, maybe some financing, it's something I don't normally do. But I'd like to help you and your family with this product or service.
Yeah.
If there's a way we could solve the financial problem. I never change my prices, sir, but I try to be flexible. It's Christmas. If I could be flexible and make something work for your budget and solve this problem, you wouldn't want to move forward today and make a commitment and take care of this, would you?
Such a negative guy you are, Claude. Such a negative guy.
I'm not a negative. I'm the most positive, happy guy in the world, man. I got bologna in my shoes here, man. I'm the happy guy.
Well, of course I would do that. Of course I would. Yeah.
It takes time. You and I are making this stuff look so simple right now.
You
But
are.
It's because I love it and I know it works. I went from a guy who couldn't sleep at night worrying about bills and rent
Yeah.
to a guy who never has to think about money. To take care of my responsibility and family. I love that freedom that good sales skills gives us. I love that.
You know what I did, Claude? And I'm not ashamed to say this. I got one-on-one coaching calls with you, and I've recorded all of them, but 2 or 3 that I've recorded, I've edited down and cut out all the filler talk, me mostly.
Us?
I've cut out me. I've left Claude. And so it ends up being like a 10, 12, 15-minute session or something. And I just hit it and I play it on loop over and over. And I listen to Claude negative redirections and stroking and nurturing. And
That doesn't work, does it?
dude, it is one of the coolest things I've ever done for myself. Making those videos that way.
Yeah.
And it's totally customized to me because it was a one-on-one session with me. So it's right on the money. I mean, I'm just trying to run some new grooves in my old brain.
I had to radically change the way. I went to school. I went to business college. I went to law school. Nobody taught me how to make money. Okay,
Right.
I know people
Exactly.
so well educated. Just because you're a lawyer or something or a professional doesn't mean you can make money, right?
They barely even taught me how to make friends.
How important is it to learn those skills, those communication skills, a system where you can get on that phone and just be comfortable in your own skin? My daughter said that to me once. I thought it was the greatest compliment I ever received. Dad, you're just comfortable in your own skin.
What does that mean, Claude?
It means you like yourself. It means no one gets to, because someone rejects you, is not polite to you, hangs up the phone on you, is rude to you, does not a judgment on who you are as a person. Only you can make that judgment. I used to be, boy, I'm really revealing stuff. I used to be always worried about what other people thought about me. I wouldn't raise my hand in class. I didn't want to be embarrassed. They'll laugh at me. I better not do that and everything. I used to be that guy. You know how frustrating life is when you're that shy or is it withdrawn?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it can be very isolating. Life can.
It can be when you get to a point where you're confident. And I don't mean to be a braggart or, an egomaniac or anything like that, but just to be comfortable with yourself, as a person.
Yeah.
I think that's important.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's totally important. It reminds me of an old proverb. I'm going to misquote it, but it says something like, the salesman that withholds the corn, the people hate. But the salesman that sells the corn, the people rejoice. It's the fact is that I was sitting in my house thinking about how I had no money, but also I wasn't putting myself out there to meet anybody, to talk to anybody, to learn any new sales skills, to do anything like that. I was actually creating the result myself that I was experiencing, and getting out there and selling something, talking to people, and learning a little bit of that skill has improved my life in more than just monetary.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's the freedom. I think, and we got to wind this up. I know you're busy and all that, but I think it's the freedom that we all want. For me, what do we all want? When we talk about our life, this short little time span on this planet here, and everything. It's the freedom to live life in this great country too. By the way, it's to be free from financial worry. Okay, it's free to live up to your own standards. Free to live where you want to live, not where you should live or have to live for practice. Well, you can live wherever you want. That's, to me, I love California. I love Colorado. I love Hawaii. I love North Carolina. I can live in all these places. I do, because I know how to give good phone. I know how to talk to people. The products and services and the solutions that I sell to people, I can communicate. And I don't sell everybody. I don't close anybody. I'm no Svengali. I don't hypnotize people and turn them into chickens. But I think I know how to communicate to people in such a way that evokes mutual respect and trust and likability and all those things we've talked about today. To me, I love working from home. To me, putting on that suit and tie and getting in the car and commuting, and I did all that, and I wasn't happy.
Yeah.
Today, I'm a happy guy.
Yeah.
And it's not just the money. It's about the lifestyle, and it's about being able to live life under your own terms.
Exactly.
To be the kind of husband or father or role model that you want to be in life. Oh boy, am I corny today? Wow.
Dude, you've inspired us all.
I think you can have a lot of fun. And if you focus on the skill sets that we talked about today, the gut sales method, which you teach, by the way, and you teach a lot of things. How are people going to find you, by the way?
RealestateWholesalerSclub.com. It's easy to find us. RealestateWholesalerSclub.com. Thank you, Claude.
Yeah, this Justin is one of the good guys. He not only teaches real estate, but he also teaches the gut sales method, marketing. What else do you? How to drink Bud Light with lime? What else do you teach?
Yeah. How to make people love you.
How do you make people love you? Seriously.
You know how you ask questions, Claude, and you listen without judging what they say. That's really, really a lot of it. Because once you ask questions and you listen, people start to talk about themselves. The funny thing about that is when they get done talking, they like everything they said and they like you.
And when they like you, when they trust you, when they see the value in what you're offering, in your product, service, real estate, Amway shampoo, whatever, when they see that there's value there and there's also trust and maybe a couple other persuasion principles, they say yes. The forces of the universe can be made in your favor when you understand how people think. What's their oxygen?
I went to see the doctor once, and he sat me down in the room, and then he came in, the nurse did, and then he came in, and I was telling him my symptoms, and he was on his little laptop typing some things in as he was asking me a few questions. And I leaned over and I kind of looked at the laptop, and he was on WebMD putting in my symptoms. And I was like, when he wrote me the prescription, I was like, this is bullshit. I don't want to take this prescription. I don't trust this doctor.
Yeah.
But
what could he say that would change that whole thing. If he made it more personal, like he cared about, like
Yes.
he,
Yes. I felt like I didn't trust him. I felt like he didn't really understand me. I felt like the questions he was asking me weren't questions that came from a place of knowledge or trust in our relationship. It just came from a website that I could go to. Like, and it made me realize not all doctors are the same. Not all salespeople are the same. Right?
Yeah, there's some real skills here. When you get somebody, you see the doctor does a diagnosis, a good doctor or a lawyer, anybody, they have to know the problem before they give you the solution. Most salespeople just rush right in. Oh, let me tell you about our company, and we were this and we're that and everything. Hey, all I want to know is, can I get it for $300 and does it come with in green? You want somebody, why are you here, sir? Tell me how we can do business today. What are you looking for? What's the budget that's comfortable for you and your family to solve this problem? If you could find that solution, what would you do next? Would you act on that right away?
Yeah.
Boom. It's not that
Exactly.
hard. I've got to go, buddy. Holy shit, we killed an hour fast.
Hey, I appreciate you, Claude. Hey, Merry Christmas to you and
Merry
Happy New Year.
Christmas to you and your lovely family and everything.
Thank
And thank you for my gift. I needed a wallet. That was
Hey,
great. How did you
something-
know that?
Well, a guy that makes as much money selling as you do, you need more than one wallet.
What a go. I'm not gonna argue with that. Hey, everybody, thank you. This is Justin Chamness. Go to his webpage. What's your webpage again?
It's realestatewholesalersclub.com.
Realestatewholesalersclub.com. Good page, good man. My name's Claude Diamond, ClaudeDiamond.com. I love sales. I love talking about it, obviously. You guys have a wonderful, safe, happy holiday. And 2021, it's going to be fantastic. This country, it's going to explode. Things are going to be great. It's going to get better, and we're going to talk about it later. Take care. Be safe. Bye-bye. Thanks for joining us.